World tour. What was that like? What was the reaction internationally to?
Yeah, I'm still kind of reeling from this Iron Man 3 World Tour and going to Korea and China and Russia and Germany and France and England, and the fans are really what's driving the success of these movies, and they're really stoked.
Did you? I don't know how else to put it. Did you have like a talking heads moment while you were on the tour? That's like, how did I get here?
Sure.
Tell me about that.
There would be a bunch of times I would like be going to a mall in Seoul, Korea, and there'd just be this massive turnout of people, and I'm just seeing all these faces, and I'm just kind of connecting in this odd way with all these other human beings, where I'm kind of participating in their enjoyment of this spectacle, you know, and of course they take really good care of me, but we're also traveling a lot and kind of doing quick turnarounds and getting ready to do the next thing, and so you could say it's kind of stressful and it's part of the job, but you know, I also got to do stuff I haven't done before. You know, I got to go to Moscow and go to this cool museum, or we got to be in the Forbidden City in China, or I got to wear some lederhosen in Munich and kind of, you know, connect with, you know, my own lineage and aspects of my own DNA and all that. So it's been wild.
How do you think that Tony has matured or not matured or changed over time from the very beginning to now?
I think Tony has had a very human journey for someone who's part of this Marvel universe. In a way, Stan Lee is just so brilliant because the Iron Man character with Tony helps ground almost everything and everyone else into something, well, there's someone who could be one of us, you know. So I think that's the way it's important. Seeing him mature is probably the wrong word, but seeing him be able to flex as he goes through all these different challenges and kind of maintain his wit and his integrity in some way. He didn't really have integrity when we first met him, and then he gained it as he used technology to save his own skin.
Play it back, I need to see it.
Action!
Don't worry. Oh, yeah. Is there a
I was surprised and delighted and obviously very much in favor of him directing this. And as John has moved on into other realms of activity and had his other successes and other experiences, it's interesting to see that now it was Shane and I reaching out to John to kind of remind us of where he was heading the ship to begin with. So, but the great thing about this story is it's dramatic, and It's pretty deep and dark at some points, but it also is very quintessentially Shane Black. I love movies where there are things that you forgot were even set up that pay off. I think part of what really made it work was it was tangible, you know, and now legacy, the human beings who make all this tech and moving forward. It's like you can reach out as we go from movie to movie, and you're feeling more and more like you're seeing something that's become part of the collective unconscious. Like in on a certain level, this stuff is real, you know, and it's also kind of feasible technologically. So I think that's what made it successful. Is we had a group of talented people, and we did something that kind of bridged a gap between the unfeasibility of most superhero genre movies and the kind of movies like I don't know, a James Bond or a Mission Impossible or whatever that are grounded in things that we think could happen.
One, go!
Well, at this point, because with the first two Iron Man movies and then Avengers and now doing Iron Man 3, there's obviously the sense of continuity. So I see the same faces, you know, every so often, more often than not. And we're kind of on the same meditation of this story that Stan Lee came up with that was essentially a second-tier superhero. But there's something timely about it, and I think that it wound up being I don't know, interesting and entertaining to people. The nice thing about Tony Stark is that he doesn't even take his own arc that seriously because he's falls so far from where he was, but he needed to. So I think people relate to that life lessons part of it, you know. The relationship with Pepper is obviously the kind of center of the movie. And contrary to my own designs, it seems like this time I'm much less thinking about, you know, how do I come off and this and that. I'm thinking about the other characters. I'm thinking about all the things. There's kind of a checklist of stuff that we always thought maybe we should do. One of them was we always felt like Tony and Rhodey should be at Neptune's Net, because it's up the road from where Tony lives, and it's a biker bar, and we thought, what if they're two kind of bikers at a bar type deal? So and John and I, and then Shane and I, and even Joss has contributed to this, obviously, is that there was always this kind of Christmas list that we never got to execute because story or time or money or whatever got in the way. And it seems like, without it being convoluted, a lot of those wishes are kind of coming true in Iron Man 3. It's like, what's in it for me? I start thinking in those terms for my co-stars, and what is it that keeps this interesting for Gwyneth? And we've addressed that this time, because she has a pretty remarkable arc for a love interest kind of female heroine in this sort of film. So that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about. You know, without giving it away, let's just say she has a pretty incredible arc this time.